Recording in progress.
Hello.
Hey, Katie.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm okay. I'm all right.
We have a little echo going on here. Does anyone else hear it?
Yeah, I think, Valerie, you need to mute one or I'll text her.
I hope it's just not that it's not just us.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Now we can.
Because I'm having issues with my microphone. So I'm gonna call in as well, and then I'm gonna mute my computer here.
Are you on as Valerie?
Yeah, Katie, I think that's Gerard from Valerie's firm. I think he's
Okay.
covering us tonight.
Yeah.
Hey, Kate.
Hi.
Hello. Hi.
How have you been? Busy?
Hanging in there, busy.
Recording in progress.
Okay, can you hear me now?
You've got an echo.
Okay. Just give me
When you-
1 second.
Before you logged in on the phone, you actually were okay. I think you've got two audios.
I do. It's that my computer one's not working, so if I turn off the computer audio, it should be okay. Let's try this. How about now?
Gerard, was that you? You're very quiet now.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, you're barely audible, unfortunately, unless it's just me, Katie.
I don't hear him.
Okay.
Here now.
Gerard, however you had it going like 2 minutes ago was perfect. So if you can go back to where you were, that would be great.
Does that work?
Nope.
Nope.
Back on the how about now? No, it's
Oh,
fine.
yes, that sounds very good.
Okay, you can hear me?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Now-
You do have a little bit of an echo, but it's not as bad as before.
Now-
Well, now we all have echoes.
Now we do. Yeah.
Oh, how about now? That's good?
Sounds okay. I think it's okay.
Yeah,
No.
we can deal with that.
Wait, we still have an echo. You must have two devices that are picking up the sound.
Are they
Yeah, that's-
next to each other?
Yeah, Gerard, I think not just that you need to mute, you need to turn the volume down on your computer.
Okay. How about now?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Right.
Perfect. All right.
I don't know if Jennifer is joining us tonight. I think maybe we'll give her like another minute or two just in case. But we do have 3 out of 4, so that's good.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
and-
I don't have my camera on. I'm feeling a little under the weather. So
Oh no, you sound like you're coming down with a cold or something.
yeah, I don't know. It's not COVID, but we'll see.
Look what I got going. I'm doing it. I'm prepping.
Oh, look, awesome.
Right.
Alrighty, sorry about that.
Oh, good. Oh, there he is.
Yep,
Hello.
here I am. I'm logged onto our network's feed.
Fantastic. All right, so I'm gonna butt out, Kate, whenever you're ready to get started. If you want to call the meeting to order.
Yeah, just give me 1 second. I just want to grab something to jot some notes down on because I thought I had something in front of me. All right. No, I'm good. Let's do it.
All right. So we'll call the meeting to order. This is the October meeting of the Villages Environmental Advisory Committee. It is October 7th at 7 p.m. I'm just gonna take a quick roll call. Gerard, I think you have to turn the volume down again.
Yep.
Okay. Katie Alberti,
Here.
Nick Tidrow,
Present.
and Chair Schlatt.
Here, present.
All right. So I want to quickly introduce Gerard. He's here as part of the Nelson Pope Voorhees team to discuss our agenda item this evening. So Gerard, do you want to quickly introduce yourself? And then I'll call up the agenda.
Yes, so I'm Gerard Chesterman. I am with Nelson Pope and Voorhees, filling in tonight for Valerie Montrasa. And so we're going to talk about the revisions to the RDD zoning district. And if I can run through do you want me to like run through all of the new revisions to it and basically what the goal of it is to achieve?
That would be fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So right now they're proposing to remove some of the more vulnerable uses within the RDD zoning district based off of the comprehensive plan's findings.
I'm sorry, Gerard, do we want to take just a little step back? Because I know I don't typically attend these meetings, so I don't know if Danielle or Valerie has really shared the context on here. Katie and Nick, do you guys need a little higher level background before Gerard gets started?
Yeah, I
That'd be
think
good.
so.
I
Okay.
did go
That'd be
read
great.
through I read through the documents attached to the agenda, so I'm not totally, off in the clouds, but the background would be great.
Okay,
Yes.
I'll be brief. I'll be brief as can be. So as the EAC knows, and I think all of you were members of the EAC at the time that this happened, the village updated our comprehensive plan back in 2020, 2021, and there were several recommendations for zoning changes to be contemplated in the future. I think some of those we sort of assumed were fait accompli because they were on the comprehensive plan. But we realized that as we're coming up on like the 5-year anniversary, it might be time to revisit. And in fact, legislative action would be needed in order to do the things that the comprehensive plan recommends. So one of those things talks very specifically about certain zoning districts, one of which is the RDD, which is the Riverfront Development District. Tiny zoning district. It's only a handful of parcels. It's right on the waterfront. I think included in that is 3 Westerly and the company apartment building, and then a couple other sites that are directly on the waterfront. And so what the comprehensive plan had suggested was that, as we know, sea level rise is coming at us fast and furious. That building, and then certainly the one at 30 Water Street, which is set back, quite a while from the train tracks, have provisions in there for, the occasional flooding. But as we sort of move forward into the future, when climate change, might be rapidly escalating, we, wanted to recommend to the Board of Trustees that residential development, except in very, very, very specific circumstances, no longer be allowed to be developed right adjacent to those Hudson River parcels. So we had gone through this with the Board of Trustees, I think 1 or 2 iterations. It went to the planning board for their feedback. They were universally supportive. And now that's what brings us here today. Certainly, as you all know, you're sort of the shepherds of the LWRP. So anything that happens sort of west of Route 9 is sort of in your bailiwick. And so that's why we are here to discuss it with you tonight. So Gerard, if there's anything obvious that I missed, please correct me. Otherwise, the floor is yours.
Yes. So I can fill you in on this. Just to give a rundown, it's going to be restricting any residential units or dwellings, any lodging uses, from a bed and breakfast to hotels, educational uses from elementary to secondary or specialized, and warehouses and freight uses will be allowed with the special use permit as long as it supports a use that is permitted. And this was all a result of the comprehensive plan, and like you said, with sea level rise, and it's a very, very small area. So if there's any other questions beyond that, we have the local law revised to reflect all of what I just said and all these new zoning changes. And then we went through the LWRP checklist to assess it from that standpoint, and there was really only one marker that came up that was really even relevant to this. So if you guys have any other questions, I'd be happy to open it up. And Maddie, if you want anything else, you feel free.
All right. Sorry, I was trying to unmute. Gerard, that's very helpful. For the EAC, would it be helpful for me to share the screen and look at any of the documents that were posted? If there are specific questions, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, you can do that. I actually have it open right now if you want me to share it.
Oh, if you could, yeah, I'm doing it off my phone, so it would be super,
Yeah, let me
super
do
helpful
that.
if you were able to.
I got
Thank
it.
you.
Okay, so this is a use table for it. Everyone sees the screen?
Yes.
Would you make it a
Okay.
little bigger? I'm gonna
Yeah, hold
move
on.
it to my big screen. Okay, now I can.
All right, let me just go up to the top. So here's your use table. Anything in red is what's being revised. So like you see here, the NP means not permitted. So it's any type of residential units, dwelling units, any lodging units for breakfast, bed and breakfast. And then for hotels as well, like I said, this is just what's going to change on the use table. Any educational uses will be not permitted. And then, as I said before, with warehouses, so like we said, it's a very small area, so it has to be, you would require a special use permit for a warehouse and freight movement use, but it has to support one of the permitted uses within the RDD.
Can I just stop you for a second? I just want to let everyone know, like the RDD, what we're referring to though, because like we don't have any visual to see it. It really is what you're referring to is a very small strip
Yes.
along the waterfront. So I just want to make sure that everybody's aware that what it actually looks like.
Do you want me to
As
pull
we're
up
discussing.
I have that.
Yeah,
have
if we
that
can
right
just
here.
do a
right
quick,
there.
just a quick
Right there.
visual, just so you can see. Yeah.
Yeah, so just to give you a, hold on,
Oh, yeah.
and let me zoom out on that. So just to give you a visual, it's basically everything west
Mhm,
of Westerly Road.
mhm.
There is, I'll get into that in a sec, but this is the area we're referencing. And it's a very small area, as you know, and there is one residential unit, not unit, dwelling, it's the Harbor Square. But that is permitted by way of the PWRD overlay district. So that is a case where it would be allowed in a where a residential district would be allowed, but that's just that really only pertains to that portion of the RDD district. I don't have that map readily available, but that is the only portion of the RDD that is within the PWRD. Everyone got the gist of the land use table and how that's being adjusted?
Can you flip back to that for a second?
Yep. So as I was saying, this is a special permit requirements for warehouses and freight movement uses.
Mhm. Okay,
And then home occupation, major, home occupation minor would just become irrelevant, so it's not applicable because you're not allowing a residential use within that area. Any other questions with this?
I'm just trying to understand why the warehouse is allowed as a um kind of an ancillary use or to support something that is there.
Because it's an area where there's a lot of like boating and there is a lot of movement of things and storage of certain things. So there are gonna,
Okay.
if there is going to need to be a use that's dedicated to that, it would have to go through a special permit because it can't just be something like a warehouse for Amazon or something like that to be, not that that's an ideal place for that, but just so it's not like any general use, like it has to serve the what's permitted there. And in most cases, it has to preserve a waterfront commercial use.
Mhm.
So it's just feeding off of that. It's just a continuation of that, if you will. So it's not just any type of use. So it's a use that's going to be practical to the
Okay.
waterfront.
Okay.
All right. Well, I know Gerard made short work of that. But fortunately for us, it's a pretty simple tweak. So we don't need to rush. If there are any other questions, we certainly have the time. Just want to make sure nobody feels like they're getting short shrift here.
No, I just say I was taking an opportunity to look at things before the meeting, so I'm just looking through a few things now and just getting the gist of everything. But from what I gather from what you've done with the LWRP, you've touched upon everything that we would have gone through. So from what you were saying, the with the exception of I think it was checklist number 18, um, the majority of this is actually not applicable. And we've actually had instances like this when we've changed other zoning for previous use where most of the time the LWRP isn't applicable at the time of the zoning change. And we find that typically it really becomes a project by project kind of situation when they're brought before us. So typically when it comes to some of these changes, the LWRP doesn't really kick off much of things that would prevent some of these zoning changes at the moment. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. I can touch base with Valor about that, see if any of these would change. I don't foresee anything really drastically changing within this checklist.
Yeah, and
Um,
looking at from the size of and where the RDD zoning district is, most of this does not pertain to that particular strip anyway.
yeah,
And the changes that are being proposed don't affect any of it for the most part, except
Right.
number 18.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the big thing that we pulled from number 18 is that it's just a commercial water related use and it has to support a commercial water related use in a sense because that's really what's permitted there.
Mhm.
Um, and it's just trying to maintain it's one is trying to maintain that and two is just trying to support the waterfront as well while trying to permit some vulnerable uses or prohibit some vulnerable uses, I mean.
Sorry, just taking a few notes so I can put it in the letter when we put it together.
Absolutely. And,
Yeah.
please don't forget, not just for the chair, but for Gerard, for everybody on the call and for members of the public that may be listening to this at some point. This is recorded and then posted on our YouTube channel. So if you ever need to sort of harken back to anything that was discussed, all of the land use board meetings are also chronicled there.
Okay.
I don't have any particular questions or concerns to bring up at the moment. I don't know if Katie or Nick might have any additional comments or questions at the moment. But I mean, I'm happy to circle back around as well because I know we'll have to submit a letter for the board.
I
Mhm.
I don't. And I think it's extremely wise to remove those vulnerable uses from being allowed within that area. Like places where will accommodate people sleeping or their dwelling units. I think it's an excellent move.
Yeah, because it's also anything residential, anything that's housing people it can become an insurance nightmare in Superstorm Sandy related events. So that's the big way of not permitting this in that area. And just because it's such a small area, it's just an easy. I
Mhm.
can't give an opinion, but it's an easy answer, if you will. I also do have the local law that's being revised here. You should all have a copy of this.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. And also to a thing that I learned, refer to this copy, not the copy that's attached to our memo from Nelson Pope and Voorhees, because what's here in this Word document is essentially a revision of that. So definitely just only refer to this. And all of it is just changing language around to make sure that it colloquially makes sense and that um anything residential related was taken out.
Okay.
Mhm.
So Nick, unless you have something, I think we've heard from everybody.
Nothing from me.
Awesome.
Thank you for the overview and the work you're doing.
You're welcome. Happy to do it.
And this is great because, with the stuff with the comprehensive plan, getting everything in line with that, to meet those goals, that's a bonus. That's a great thing to move forward.
Yeah, I agree, and there are more to come. This was the one that we really dug into first because obviously, it's those parcels in particular are quite vulnerable to climate change. But there
Mhm.
are a couple other things that the EAC actually may have even had a hand in adding to the final comprehensive plan about flood resilient design, sort of more holistically across the village and things like that. So probably, in spring of next year, maybe not Gerard, but someone from Nelson Pope will be back to discuss. Of course, Gerard, you're perfectly welcome. I didn't mean to say it like that, but
No, that's fine.
someone will be back to share some other updates that we're hoping the board will start giving some thought over the next couple of months.
Okay. That sounds good. Yeah.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else, I think this was the only agenda item. So if there's nothing else that the board wants to cover this evening, I think we can ask for a motion to adjourn.
Actually,
Yeah, I'm
before
just gonna
we
do
adjourn,
what?
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Go ahead, Gerard. I'm
okay,
sorry.
Kate, you go first.
Oh, I was going to say two things. One, I know that we were discussing the possibility of a wetlands ordinance update in the coming months. So I just wanted to let the rest of the EAC have a heads up about that, because New York State and federal laws have changed, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll have to update the wetlands ordinance to adapt to that. And the other thing was a shameless plug for the farmers market on Saturday. I'm going to be doing an Enviroscape demonstration to show the impact of wetlands on the community. So I'm going to be setting up at 9 a.m. I'll be there till noon. So if you want to come on by and see a couple of demonstrations, we'd be happy to have you.
Oh, cool.
Cool. I just wanted to bring up one last thing for the EAC for November. So I know that there was a lot of back and forth about dates
Right.
and whatnot. So there's two options for a date. I just want to throw out November 3rd or November 13th. The 3rd is a Monday, the 13th is a Thursday. Do we have any preference of dates here?
I'm
have a
fine with
regular
either. Mm.
I have a regular commitment on Thursdays. So I wouldn't be too thrilled about that, but I could conceivably get out of it.
Okay.
I think we're going to stick with Monday the 3rd, but we might have to divide and conquer because I believe the HPC is also scheduled to meet that night. But that's no worries because they're in person and we're online. So if Monday the 3rd works best for everybody, then I think we can cement that in. Thank you, Gerard, for the reminder.
Yeah, the
Yes,
third works for me.
and then I can circle back with Valerie too as well.
Actually, the
Okie
third would be
doke.
better because I'm leaving for a conference Wednesday morning very early, so that would work out perfectly.
Well, there you go. It must be the 3rd in that case.
Yeah, I think the third's good.
All right, excellent.
All
So
right.
we'll also let Jennifer know. And thank you all for your flexibility and for joining tonight. And thank you, Gerard.
Yes, and sorry for all the echoes and the audio issues here. That was all on my end.
All good. Okie doke. Chair Schlatt, would you like to call for a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Yes, we motion to adjourn the meeting, and I will see everyone in November.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Bye-bye.
night.
Good night.
Good night.